Pierce, founder and CEO of Map Digital. I'm here in the virtual events booth at IMEX 2022, right? We skipped a
Yeah, I
couple of years,
know.
I
Yeah, I
think,
know.
did
We're
we, right?
forgetting where we are and
Where am
what
I?
year we're
We're in
we're in.
Las Vegas, and I'm here with my friend and fellow female entrepreneur, founder, tech founder, Rachel Stevens from Quebec, Brossard in Quebec. And
Ah!
she's here today to tell us about her product, Snowball. And really, I'd love to have a journey chat with you of before pandemic, during pandemic, and what are you finding post, and the future of events and Snowball's place in it.
Oh my! How long do you have?
Oh, until it starts snowing, right?
Oh,
in
for me
in
it's
Las
snowing.
Vegas.
For me it's snowing year round.
Make
that's
it snow, not make it rain.
that's the beauty of it. Well, first of all, thank you for having me here. It's such a pleasure to see you again, and talk about the future of events and the journey of Snowball. Snowball was born as out of a need of trying to get more people to events. My background is event marketing. We've been working with organizers for over 20 years. I have white hair. It's hidden.
I think she still uses the box. I think.
Yeah, I know. I should. I
We
should.
belong to the
Stop
curly
it.
girl club, so we always are comparing this. Yes.
So essentially, it's trying to get more people to the events. And before pandemic, it was all about in-person events with a little portion of digital. And during pandemic, at the first, it was a big shock, obviously, like everybody else's. But we saw that the need and the challenges for planners to get people still to their events now digital is still a pain point. So it really fits and transitions nicely, and we even saw growth with much more growth and much more visibility in snowballing all these digital events that happened during pandemics. And thank God to those for getting us all together and then keep the business going. And in a way, it opened up a whole different opportunity for organizers, for events, to leverage digital events as a means to grow their audiences. To after that, what do you do with that audience that you're trying to grow and build on it? Well, there's a ways to monetize it, to propose to them different products and solutions, part of an associations, for example, because whether we like it or not, during pandemic, we're marketing to the same people, to the same list of audience. A lot of people changed jobs, so we lost a lot of those. So how do you tap into more of those? So that's where our role is. We're trying to find the lookalike audience by having the people share and promote and recommend
Yeah,
to bring it.
this is really interesting. Power to the people, and also people's networks and people's sharing. And what are they sharing? They're sharing content.
Exactly.
This is the magic gift that the pandemic gave
That's
a lot. Well, it was always there. It just made it into a jewel. Correct?
Yes, and because it's digital, now it's all captured. So you have it. So that's the golden nugget that everybody needs to crack and be able to leverage.
And since it's digital, it's easy to manage. It's not like it's all. It can be passed over with API, or we can just interconnect it. I want you to just describe a snowball journey, where you start. What do you give the audiences to
Promote
act?
and
Yeah.
talk about
So
it. Yes.
give us the snowball trajectory.
All right. How do we make it snow? That's what the idea here. So essentially, I tell my clients is that you can start as anywhere in the journey you want, but you can start as early as when you're starting to build your program. So it's about amplifying whatever you're doing through the people that you're doing it with. So it could be at call for speakers, call for sessions.
Exactly.
So a speaker can start sharing and saying, they get a widget after they submit their session saying, hey, now share it to your social, the fact that you submitted a session at this event to speak about this topic. And then what happens now, they're going to attract other speakers maybe so that your speakers are helping you build your program. What it does for the audience, who could be also potential attendees, now you put it on their radar. So you created awareness for them to know that this is happening, almost like a save the date, but they heard it from the speaker.
Well, it's the word of mouth. We know in all marketing when someone recommends something, and they're sharing thought leadership. They're sharing their sector information, and we also know that speakers have tremendous networks.
Yes.
And you get this point where you almost get this mirror of mirror amplification of networks. You are really hitting potential attendees that you didn't even know existed.
Exactly, you don't have in your database. That's way about, the pre-event is attendee acquisition. After the event is audience acquisition because I'll get to that point. So we can start as early as call for speakers. Then registration opens. Now you look at the different personas, different audiences that you have in your own, uh, house, basically, ecosystem. So you have your speakers, you have your sponsors, you have your partners, you have your attendees who are registering. So when they register, they are also served this snowball widget asking them to invite someone else who could be interested in this event. So you ask them. But then we go back to them with different reminders and we change what we ask them to post. They can change it themselves too. But it's triggers leading up to the event with the different stakeholders.
And do you keep data on the attendees on who are the most active ones?
Absolutely, that's
Because
the power of it.
That's the influencers.
That's the power of it.
It's like that's better than Instagram posting. That's the
Absolutely,
influencers.
and the thing is, like the clients come to us and say, "Oh, my speakers, we just want to do the speakers." Like, you're leaving money on the table here. Your attendees are your most sometimes surprising, are the ones that are going to get you the most. And then the data and the dashboard that they can look at on our side on Snowball is that you can see exactly who referred, how many people, and not only how many, they know exactly who the people are. So I'll know, like Rachel brought in Marianne, and Marianne maybe brought someone else. I can see it exactly who came, and then that brings in another layer of campaign where it's like, okay, do you want to do gamification? Do you want to give prizes for the most, engaged influencers?
Those attendees, if you have that data, it's an afterlife you can use for actually targeting for lead retrievals, and as also for customers. Like basically, this attendee is extremely active in this, and you match it with a sponsor if you can, with permission, of course, to get that kind of leads as a service type of a thing. You can really go that level down.
You could be as creative as you want because now they rose to the top, the ones that the most, I call them the most valuable advocates. Then you could do some special campaigns with them where you give them access. You give them, or you match them with people so they can also spread out the word about certain things from there.
You're creating community in a very real sense, in a way, pre-event, during event, and then after event. I mean, you're an adjunct and support to what we think, myself, Map Digital, is that events are communities.
Yeah.
And you are giving power to the attendee, the people, in which to advocate.
Yeah, we're triggering word of mouth, basically. We're asking them to do that. So during the event, it happens the same thing. So let's say, like, take your platform, for example, Map Digital. They could be watching something there, but you can also implement a snowball trigger there in the chat, in sessions, to ask people, because now they're on a high. They're watching it. They want to share their takeaways. They want to share what they're watching, the content. They can also, from there, they also amplify it while the event is happening. If the event is, a few more days, then there's people still registering while the event is happening. So they're still amplifying it while it's happening. And now the beauty after that is the post-event, you have all this content that's recorded. So you can also repurpose that, slice it and dice it in small pieces, and you hand it now to your speakers to get it out. It's like, here's what I presented. And then you double it also co-marketing where, okay, yes, this is what I presented in the past, but we build the landing page usually for those, also generated for all speakers at large. And then the event could also co-market their next edition of the event. So
we're having great success with that. Basically, we call it snippets.
Yes.
And it's like basically that thought leadership that goes out on social media, news wires, or back into a community platform. Because what fuels the digital campfires is content. And content, now it's all on platforms and it's all digital, but you give the tool for the attendees and the speakers to be very purposeful in hitting their networks. It's almost like giving them a broadcast microphone in a way.
Exactly.
Here's what I think is great, and they become influencers. So it's very, very powerful to attract, maintain, get insights on audience, and then to keep the conversation going.
Absolutely.
I think it's a tool that I think every conference has to have a dash of snowball.
A snowball. Let it snow, baby.
Let it snow. Well, you are so kind to stop by. This
My
has been
pleasure.
Terrific.
It was nice to see you, and thank you for having me.
This is where we get to visit with all our friends at IMEX. It's great. But thank you very much, Rachel.
My pleasure. Thank you so much.